Hey guys, so it's September the 25th, Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I know we haven't done a video in a minute, but we're kind of catching you up. I guess you guys all know that we have a little storm called Helene. They just did the model run, I think at 4 p.m. Forecasted by the National Hurricane Center to Cat-4. A lot of the long-term and high-resolution models have been given a much higher rating than that. Landfall they're calling for Thursday, September the 26th, around 8 or 9 p.m. Our crew right now is staging, so we're gonna give you kind of behind the scenes of what staging looks like. Right now our current plan is to go out to the west, like into Alabama, and stage far enough away from the storm as it comes up that we can get under it, and then we can go in and help. The customers that we serve in this area, the National Telecommunications Company that we work for and a couple of these power companies, they have a lot of customers kind of in that Panhandle, South Georgia area, so we're gonna make sure that we can go down and be ready to support those guys. So come outside and we'll give you a quick tour of what it looks like to get ready to go. So one of the first things that we need, and we've talked about this before, Stephen can link the video, but we need fuel. And so they're getting the drive lines, the grease, they're doing all the service on the truck, checking the tires and everything, getting ready to get this baby loaded up. We've already made a deal with our fuel supplier, so we've got fuel coming in the next 30 minutes, so we'll get this baby loaded and we'll be ready to go. We're probably gonna take 3,000 gallons of gas and probably 5,000 gallons of diesel. So behind me you can see the guys are getting loaded up. You see we got some 45 kWs. These are a great size to do like 911 centers or small tower sites, so we take a couple of them. It makes it really handy. You see they're getting the flatbed loaded up with it. This is actually the pad on the new building that we're building, and we'll show you a little bit more about it, but it just gave us a great place to stage up. So behind me you can see that we have a trailer that's got a couple of our 100 and 125 kW generators with a 125 on the back. This will give us, if we had a larger data center, we also can utilize this 100 in camp because it gives us the ability to do 480 and 208 at the same time. That's going to be this important this year because one of the things that we're trying to do is make the camp life a little bit better for the guys by getting some of the noise down. A lot of times we have to leave all of our trucks idling, and so that's going to make it a lot better. Right here, this is our equipment trailer. It's got cold stuff in the front. It has a reefer unit on it that runs on diesel while the truck's going down the road. The other side is the original sleeping trailer. It's got a lot of the telecommunication equipment that we utilize in motion going down the road. We call this big girl Smiley. He's our lead driver. He drives this truck and navigates us to the front. Stephen is going to be a navigator that's in one of the pickup trucks this year, and he's going to be like looking at routes and places and staging and working out all the details associated with that. We'll go show you inside a couple of these trailers to give you an idea of what's going on. All right guys, so this is our equipment trailer that we utilize for our National Telecommunication Company, and we have stuff in here to put antennas and lines back on tower structures. What tends to happen is the structure, the antenna, the tower structure, the steel part, it maintains itself to maybe 200 miles an hour, and then the shelter or the little house where the equipment is, it can make it, but all the lines and antennas, dishes, they get blown off around 100 miles an hour. So this trailer, we've set it up specifically for doing hurricanes, so it's like a hardware store for what we need to build towers back with antennas, lines, and cables and all that. And in here, this is that little area that I told you about. The whole trailer's a reefer trailer, but we paint a permanent wall here, and this is where we keep our food stores. So we have all the drinks, all the ice in here. You can see we keep our meat, our food. Stan has this thing set up for us, and it can operate like it is now in station plugged up, or it can utilize the diesel reefer unit on the front as we're going down the road. This is an example, guys, of how this facility is going to be nice for us. We've built the infrastructure in to be able to get power, electricity, water, and all the different things into these trailers. And as you can see now, we don't have to deploy the steps to go into the sleeping trailers. All three of our sleeping trailers can line up down this dock, and this will be a continuation of this building. Normally it'll be inside, but we're in the construction process right now. We're just using the pad to stage on. This is, like I mentioned, the original sleeping trailer, and we utilize it for our telecommunications as we're going down the road. So we have repeaters, Starlink, all the servers. If you've seen some of our videos about ATAC, I guess we'll link it somewhere. This situational television allows us to go outside and see ATAC, so we can see all the assets, the trucks, the guys, all their different phones. We even have a system from Garmin that lets us see where all of our guys are across the satellite if all the terrestrial based communications are down. We've mentioned this before, but this kind of gives you an idea of all the dry goods and canned goods. It's kind of like the pantry for Stan. We've got more freezer space here. Go back and check out our videos. This whole trailer has a generator. We're actually running on it right now. And we also have a battle-borne system with 8 24-volt, 50 amp hour batteries. And with this gear and everything on the refrigerator and the freezers, we're able to get about 6 or 8 hours of runtime. If we'd lost this generator the minute we left, we'd be fine. We could still utilize the communications. We could still get and keep all of our food and all that properly stored. And like as we continue in the back, this is the original trailer we built. This is the bunk trailer. So this is the trailer that my guys utilize. Each bunk has its own heating and air return and a supply, so you can regulate the temperature. These nice heavy curtains keeps all the noise out. Some of the best sleep you ever get is on a Hurricane because you're so tired and you got that gentle hum of that diesel engine. These sleeping trailers are pretty special. If you're interested in seeing how we built them, we have a whole series on building one. We're building a brand new one from scratch to let you see it. One of the game changers this year for us, and we're pretty excited about it, is Starlink. So we're at dock height, so we're 4 feet higher than we would normally be. It allows us to have this. It's tilted slightly forward to anticipate the satellites that we're moving into. We operate this going down the road, so now we have internet anywhere we are, and we can utilize it even while we're moving. The guys can come up beside the trailer and even get Wi-Fi into their trucks off of the Starlink, so we're pretty well set up on that. The antenna beside it is a cellular modem, so that when the cellular comes back, we're good to go. As we're getting ready here, you can see one of the trucks is staged in, and then one of the other flatbeds, he's gonna back up to the dock over here, and he's gonna be able to load some more equipment dock level off the trailer. So one of the things you see one of my guys doing right there is he's checking the tires. So we check the tires. 18 wheeler obviously has 18 tires. So he goes around and he actually checks the inflation. I believe in my world that tire failure is inflation. So if we have the inflation right, we can mitigate our tire failures. This is kind of cool. This is some old pictures that we have up on the wall before we really did videos of some of the storms we've been on. Irma, I believe it was down in the Keys. Laura, this was in Louisiana. That's in Louisiana. Sandy, I believe it was in New York. So anyway, just like with these pictures on the wall to remind us about the storms we've been on right here, I think this was Florence. And then even behind that is a COVID hospital we built during COVID in a parking deck. That's kind of a fun thing. But just like all those things, we'd love for you to follow along. We're gonna be heading out tomorrow, the day ahead of the storm, to get staged up, and we'd really love you to like, subscribe, and follow. And maybe we can take you into the storm and give you some unprecedented access of Hurricane Helene.